Hello, Lord Mark. This is Norm Prendergast, the Ride Ripper.
How can I help you?
Look, Dan Lennard's been trying to phone you all week. We need you back on the Babyface Broadcast.
Oh, well, I haven't answered his calls, and why do you need me back on the Babyface Broadcast? I thought Dan had it all under control.
Well, look here, I'm going to be honest. I don't think Dan has it under control, and the show's a dog's breakfast. He doesn't have much prepared, and I think the show needs its creator back. I think you need to be back to be on the airwaves.
Okay, Norm.
Also, I need you back helping with Australian wrestling legends booking the show.
Well, look, Norm, this was all my idea, and to feel like this has all been taken away from me by you and Dan, makes me a bit trepidatious about coming back to help you out, to be honest.
Look, I'll do anything, Just I've signed a contract. I've got no idea what's going on. That Jessica Bland woman's disappeared, and I'm getting bills from a thing called Meta. And look, if Dan said he needs a co-host, and I can't come in every Thursday night. As much as I like being on the radio, I've got dates I can't cancel out to hang out with Dan Lennard, who's faffing about.
Okay, well, look, I'm in charge.
Yes.
I'm in charge of the Babyface Broadcast. This is my show, so I take back, it's mine. And I am in charge of the wrestling show, Australian Wrestling Legends. I'm the boss, I'm the booker. It goes through me, I'll help you get out of your trouble.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, when can you start?
Well, I think I can start about right now, Norm.
That's live, pal.
What a time to be alive. It's the Babyface Broadcast here on 2RRR 88.5 FM. I am back, your host, Lord Mark Williamson, here back in the studio. A tumultuous couple of weeks, let me tell you, but let's see how it's going to go leading forward. And now I am sitting in here with one Dann Lennard. I'm not sure if he is a co-host, a special guest star. I'm not sure what he is here this evening, folks, because I'm not sure you heard a couple of weeks ago we had a bit of a bust up on air. Did we not, Dann Lennard?
Yeah, we did, Mark. I am hoping we can put that unfortunate incident behind us and move forward. So, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much, Dann Lennard. Thank you very much. Now, Norm Prendergast has been filling in for us because this is a show about putting on Australia's greatest wrestling event. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had the great Ride Ripper, Norm Prendergast, come in and try to help us out. He was willing to take over, finance the show, and it's kind of went a bit downhill from there, hasn't it, Dan?
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
I mean, a few hiccups.
A few hiccups. You tried to take over this show.
I wouldn't say that.
You tried to take over the show, Dan Lennard, and you did. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and look. It's been rough, but here we are. We are going to give it a crack. We are going to try to get this back on track. So, Dan Lennard, the big question I have for you is, I believe I am owed an apology.
An apology?
An apology, Dan Lennard. Norm has asked me back, so I said I'll come here as long as I get a bit of a public apology.
Do you now?
Yes.
So, you want me to apologise on air?
Yes, I want you to apologise on air, Dan Lennard. On air.
Well, I have to say, Norm did give me a heads up about this. He did suggest that apologising might be the way to go to smooth things over.
Yes.
So, Mark, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, you're sorry I feel that way?
I apologise if you were upset by anything I said in the last couple of weeks. There you go.
Well, Dan, I think that is a bit of a rubbish apology.
What?
That is a rubbish apology. That is just, I'm sorry you feel offended for my words.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you feel offended. I said that.
No, but you're not genuinely sorry.
I apologise if you are upset. Look, I've said this now 4 times.
You're apologising for my feelings.
Yeah.
Not apologising for your actions. And
Is that the same thing?
no. They're very different things. Apologizing for like how I feel, because you're not taking any responsibility for your actions. So you're apologizing for my feelings. You're not apologizing for the things that you actually
I think I
did.
said the word sorry and apologize. I've now said that 3 times each.
You can say many different words with many different meanings, and just saying I'm sorry for you feeling that way isn't actually apologizing for the actions that you did. And I have a long list.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I sure do. I have a long list of things that I believe, a grievance list.
Grievances.
I have a list of grievances against you, Dann Lennard.
Okay.
So I need you to buckle up, make sure that you're ready, because we're going to do that in the next segment, because let me tell you, much like Tom Petty, I won't back down, and that's who we're listening to here on the Babyface Broadcast on 2RRR 88.5 FM. Because I won't back down, and you are listening to the Babyface Broadcast here on 2RRR 88.5 FM. This is a show about putting on Australia's greatest wrestling event. I am your OG host, Lord Mark Williamson. I'm in the studio, sitting with a attempted coup d'etat master, Dann Lennard.
That's a bit harsh.
It is the truth. It is the truth. Now, we had a bust up on air about 3 weeks ago.
Very unfortunate.
Now, I've taken a walk away from the Babyface Broadcast, walk away from Australian Wrestling Legends, the show that we were putting on to put on Australia's greatest wrestling show. I've taken a step back, and basically Norm Prendergast ran the show for the last 2 weeks. Dan, you weren't here for one of them, and then last week it was a bit of a,
It was a bit of a... I think Norm used the term dog's breakfast.
A dog's breakfast was on the phone call he made with me, so...
Yeah, well, look, I'm glad he called you and got you back, because, I have to say, Mark, it was a bit of a rocky couple of weeks.
It sure was. So
it was all those shiny buttons there. I didn't know what to touch.
That's exactly it, Dann Lennard.
I touched a few of them and things went wrong.
Yeah, and you had to get a 92-year-old man that's just done a course to kind of cover for you.
I lost segments. Things just vanished.
That's it. So, I mean, they can disappear.
They can.
It's very temperamental. A whole segment you could have planned can just go, boom.
Gone.
A booking in a studio can change. It can be, you need to be on your feet and on your toes.
I was furious.
At
one point.
Yeah. So you can imagine the fury, though. I'm glad you were furious. I'm glad you had the very brief sitting in the driver's chair like I am doing right now.
I realise now it is a big job.
It is a big job. We've got people training outside right now.
Yeah.
Training to learn. Hopefully be as good as me.
I just thought they were like tourists.
But, they also get things on how to act appropriate on air and not to embarrass your co-host.
That's a strong word.
Belittle your co-host.
That's a stronger word.
To attempt a coup d'etat to take over a show.
I don't even know what that word means.
That is running a coup. That is, you did a coup 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
You had Norm Prendergast pump up your brakes. You had Jessica Bland, who's gone missing in action.
Can't find her. She won't answer my calls or anything.
Well, let me tell you, I have found her.
You have?
And she might be coming in to explain herself in a segment or two, so...
Let's hope so.
Well, yeah, you're funny enough, I believe Keith Lambden.
Oh, he's not a nice man.
Well, I mean, you upset Keith Lambden.
I did.
So Keith Lambden
he threatened me.
He's the promoter of the Barragong Wrestling League. We made a deal with him to book a couple of his wrestlers.
You made a deal.
Well, I was the booker at the time, and Dann Lennard didn't want to honour anything being said, and he got threatened last week.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, it sure was. But you know what else was scary? Being embarrassed on air.
Okay.
So I want an apology, Dann Lennard, and here's
Didn't I just give you a bunch of apologies?
No, you didn't.
Okay, let's not go into that again.
I have a grievance list.
A grievance list.
Okay, you called me a number of things that night that you said.
And has that bothered you?
It has bothered me, and I want an apology for it. First one, you said I was dodgy.
Well, you are involved in the wrestling business.
Yeah, but you said I was dodgy, and you've got it all there. You've got everything under there. Let's not listen to anything Mark has to say. Anything Mark's, he's just dodgy. He's no good. You and Jessica Bland put that idea in that peanut head of yours, and you just ran with it.
My head is not
dodgy.
My head is not peanut shaped.
Yeah, more one of those Brazil nuts.
Listen,
you have a Brazil nut-shaped head.
Okay, enough of that.
Anyway,
enough of the nutty type things.
She put an idea in your head, and you ran with it.
Yeah,
and you called me dodgy. So that is one thing.
Okay, well, look, I'll say sorry for that then. Okay.
Well, no. I'm going to do the full list, and then you can apologise. One big apology.
This is great radio, Mark.
It is. Well, you know what? If Kyle and Jackie O had open apologies, maybe they'd still be on air.
They'd be going all day.
Maybe the radio business would be better if we basically apologize and be the leading example. You can have a problem with someone, but if you apologize and do it publicly, because the apology needs to match the disrespect. You disrespected me very publicly on air. Okay. So the apology needs to be on air.
Read the list, Mark. Go on.
You called me selfish.
Hi, look, I may have gone too far with that because a selfish person wouldn't be giving back to the business like you are doing with Australian Wrestling Legends.
A selfish person wouldn't come in here right now and redo the show and help out after all those things were said and done to him.
I may have gone too far with that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll concede that.
So that's one. You called me an idiot.
Well, you could also call me an idiot.
But there's like lots of things you've done that have been idiotic.
We don't need to tally these things up. It's not a ledger thing. It's
if it was a balance, so just say if it was the scales of justice on the scales of idiocy, I admit I might have made a few mistakes, but outdone by yours, geez, it goes right down on your side, Dann Lennard. So that's another thing as well. And I mean, you did try to do a coup to take over a radio show.
I was angry.
The week before you went on holidays. Like, if you were going to do a coup and take over something, you'd do it this week.
What, like you're doing?
Well, you do it this week. You take over something when you've got everything organised and got all your ducks in a row, and you do it that way. So there was that one. So, yes.
Oh, we're still going?
Well, no, we're still going. There was a number of things you said. Okay. I've watched that video.
How many times have you watched it?
Like 48 times.
That's unhealthy.
Not really. Helps me process it, because if I saw your smug little head and seeing it 48 times and doing that, it's acclimatized me to look at you.
My Brazil nut head.
Your Brazil nut head. It has acclimatized me not to be angry when I look at you, because you're a friend, Dann Lennard.
Well, thank you, but you're a sick man because you filmed that segment. You filmed.
Well, it was filmed.
Physically assaulting me.
We were filming the show, and we're not filming tonight.
I know. Yeah, I know. Thank goodness. Because I'm topless for starters.
But
listen.
No, I'm still going.
Oh, sorry.
You accused me of running away. You accused me of running away every promotion I've worked for. You accused me of running away from Melbourne. You accused me of running away from lots of places.
Well, you ran away from the radio show. Okay, listen. I may have been using some harsh words because I was upset with you, Mark.
Well, you didn't seem upset. You just were like going the attack.
Okay.
So... and I do say this, you accuse me of running away from every wrestling promotion I work for. I was asked to commentate the IWA 28th anniversary. I commentated with the legendary Ed Locke. So if I was dodgy, if I was run away from places, if I ran away from every wrestling promotion, if I was selfish, if I was an idiot, they wouldn't have asked me to do that commentary, would they?
I wonder whether that was just Randall being spiteful towards me. So, like, he used you to attack me.
No. If he was spiteful for you, you're going to have that match and he's probably going to kick your head in. Also, the final thing that really got to me was being called unprofessional.
You walked off the radio show.
No, you
twice.
I've walked off once. And your unprofessionalism, I walked away from a situation that wasn't serving me well because you were being a selfish, dodgy idiot.
Do you know that?
You were being a selfish, dodgy idiot. So, that's why I walked away. So I want an apology. If we are to continue going this. Norm needs my help because The wheels have really come off Australian
The
wrestling
wheels have really
legends
come off,
have
you reckon?
off. Well, you've been threatened. You can't handle the pressure.
Listen, it's only because Norm thinks that you can do a better job than me.
Norm knows I can do a better job than you. It's not thinking, it's knowing. There's a big difference there, Dan.
Listen, I have talked with Norm, and he suggested that I should apologise. You weren't happy with my first attempt, so I guess I will try again.
You will try again.
I'll try again.
I want it.
Because we are friends.
We are friends.
After all this, we are friends.
So you need to speed it up, though, because we are past this.
Okay. Mark, I am very, very sorry for all the things I said.
I'll accept that, Dan Lennard.
Phew, thank goodness.
I'll accept that. Because we need to move forward. Because I need to clean up the mess you and Norm have made of this show and of Australian wrestling legends. The fact there is a 92-year-old man railroaded into signing a contract that not you have seen, not Norm has seen, no one has seen what has been signed, but you're all going ahead saying everything's going to be great. So I am here to save the day and clean up your mess, because I am the greatest of all time, Dan Lennard, and because I am so great, one of our classic sponsors has agreed to come back on this very night, folks. So if you want the greatest of all time when it comes to bookkeeping, this man will do it for you.
Hi, I'm Igor Lihorovich of Take Care of Books.
So welcome back to the Babyface Broadcast here on 2RRR 88.5 FM. This is a show about putting on Australia's greatest wrestling event. I am Lord Mark Williamson. Sitting across from me, I haven't decided what he is yet. I'll decide this at the end of the show, Dan Lennard. And I've managed to find the mystery woman that you and Norm, Dan, couldn't get a hold of for the last couple of weeks.
It's been hard work, but...
Get a contract. So I've got Jessica Bland sitting in the studio, managed to wrangle her in.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
I just want to say that you've got me here, but it's not willingly. I am under absolute duress right now. Some absolute lunatic has been outside of my house for the last week. Keith Lambden.
He did that to me too.
He will not leave me alone.
Guy's crazy.
Now, look, I had to tell Keith that the show... I can't book wrestlers on the show because we don't have a proper contract yet to see what is going on with this show that you somehow got the 92-year-old owner to sign on air a couple of weeks ago, the Ride Ripper Norm Prendergast. He's got no idea what he signed. You've managed to send it through to me, so why didn't you send it through to Norm? Why didn't you give him a copy of the contract?
Or to me.
Well, we managed to take care of it and handle everything on air during our episode, and so he got the opportunity to sign it. He entrusted me with this contract, and so I just took it upon myself to organise and sort everything out.
But he needs a copy of the contract and nothing's been organised. And you've got missing this bloke.
Hey.
You were going to host a show with him last week.
Yeah, Jesse, where were you?
I was attending to other very important matters. I had to put the wheels in motion now that this contract has been signed. I was dealing with that.
The wheels in motion. So I've got the contract here, Dan. So I just want to say...
you got the contract?
Oh, yes, sent it through. Keith is very persuasive. I just want to say I didn't send Keith. I just gave him information and told him that, things need to be done before things can move on. So I haven't sent any thugs. I haven't done anything like that. Just putting that out there.
It's
just a share of information.
You are the causality of this.
Well, let's speak of causality here. We're going through this contract here. So the date...
Yes?
You want to know the date?
Yes, please.
The date is Saturday, August 29th.
Hey, I'm free that day.
Well, very good. Is at the Lower Henley Diggers Club, which is a club that hasn't opened yet. It's in Lower Henley, wherever the hell that is.
It's in this area.
Yeah. So hasn't opened yet. So, we're
debuting that's very exciting, Mark.
The club doesn't have a reputation. This is like a new place opening up.
It doesn't have a bad reputation.
Well, look, Australian Wrestling Legends gets the room for free.
Well done, Jesse.
It's actually, my name's Jessica. Let's keep things professional here.
Oh, okay.
So, we've got the room for free, Dan.
Yeah. The room's free.
Well, that's a good idea. Your friend Jessica. Oh, what a great job she does. What a fantastic job. She's got us a venue.
Yeah.
She's got us all this sort of stuff. However, we need to be in partnership with the venue for advertising, not just the event, but advertising the opening of the club, which means we are $30,000 in the hole for advertising. That is how much we need to pay.
That's not good.
For advertising. What do you have to say about that? That is absolutely scandalous.
You're throwing a lot of big words around here, Mark, like scandalous. I think that this is very defamatory language.
Defamatory? No, it is scandalous. $30,000 for a startup wrestling promotion to advertise for one night, and we're not just advertising an event, we're advertising a whole venue's opening day. And you think that's okay? You've got a 92-year-old man to sign a deal like that you pushed to him on air, and this guy here...
Will you stop pointing at me
this guy here who's just gone along with everything.
I didn't even know about the I was on holidays when she did all this.
Yes, so $30,000 worth of advertising, which is online advertising, advertising in newspapers, various newspapers.
Do they still even exist?
They do. I'm not sure what the local papers are around here, but I don't see any major newspapers here, and we don't even have any advertising slated for 2RRR. So,
That's odd.
You haven't even bought any ads here at this radio station to advertise the show, which I think is very odd.
Well, you're doing the show on 2RRR. I'm actually saving you money if you think about it that way, because you're doing the program on here.
Oh, so you're saving us money. $30,000, but you're saving us money not doing the advertising. Okay, so we're in newspapers, we're on all social medias and all this sort of stuff, but you're saving us money, correct?
That's correct. That's what I do as a marketing expert, is I secure these very good deals for people.
This is a terrible idea, but okay, if you're going to save us money, okay, you're saving us money. So we've got a free room.
Yeah.
$30,000 worth of advertising. That's not just advertising us, it's advertising the venue.
We can work around it, I'm sure, Mark.
I'm sure we can work around it, Ken. We're fantastic. Good leadership like that, Dann Lennard. I love to see that. Okay. Saving money also, we need to use the club's security for the night, which is $2,000.
You know, now's the time. I don't want to say I told you so, but you fired the security guys I hired. Nothing personal, strictly business.
You hired two bums. $2,000 for security.
That's just one of the business costs that's expected to run like a club. This is a new venue. They're going to need security for this big event. That's just part of the reality, the logistics of running this sort of event.
There's also $1,500 for staff costs. So we need to pay for all the staff that are there that night. Despite the fact we're paying $30,000 for advertising, we're going to pay another $1,500 for wages for staff of the night, which is a bar staff.
Did you or did you not want to put on Australia's greatest wrestling show? You're going to need a lot of staff, a lot of facilities. Okay. You're going to need the security. You're going to need all these sorts of things.
Look, Jessica.
Thank you.
It's not so much that we're putting on Australia's greatest wrestling show, but it sounds like we're going to go bankrupt doing Australia's greatest wrestling show.
Well, you're doing the show on 2RRR for free, so you're not...
And we have got a free room.
Exactly.
You really are just a simple-minded person at times.
I wouldn't. That's uncalled for.
That is no. I don't mean this in a negative way.
It sounds.
I know
negative.
You're trying to be positive.
I'm trying.
You're trying to think you've got a friend here.
I have got a friend.
I don't think Jessica's your friend. Are you Dann Lennard's friend, Jessica, or is this just a professional relationship?
Well, now that we've got a contract formally signed, I think now that we're in the sort of business procedure of things, I think it's best if we just keep the relationship strictly professional and formal.
But what about our wrestling video nights?
Dan, I wasn't really invested in those. I just needed to build up rapport and network with this program.
Do you even like professional wrestling?
I've never watched a single wrestling match in my life.
Yeah, see, she didn't even know what WrestleMania was. I listened to the shows.
That is
she
true.
Didn't even know what WrestleMania was.
That is true. I was a little bit surprised, considering we did watch WrestleMania 41 like highlights of that and other WrestleManias. I was a bit surprised.
Fantastic.
I must admit.
Well, the cherry on the top for this, Dan.
Yeah.
From your mate, your bloody mate. The finder's fee. Guess how much this fee? This great marketing expert, this great person is saving our day to helping us put on Australia's greatest wrestling show is. She gets 40% of ticket sales.
40%?
40% of ticket sales. So not only do we have to pay all these costs, we only get 60% of each of the tickets. So
Hold
we
on.
have to. Do you know how much we have to charge for tickets?
How much?
Oh well, I don't know yet. A huge amount.
Yeah, so, okay, hold on a second. I was willing to put up with the free room, right, and the free publicity on 2RRR, but 40% on tickets. Jessica Bland, why aren't you wearing an eye patch? Because you're a bloody pirate.
What I am is a bloody marketing expert and the best in the field, and I'm only getting a fair compensation fee for my skills and expertise at the level and standard that I provide.
I am shocked, Mark.
Well, let me say this.
Flabbergasted.
that You...
Flummoxed. I'll shut up now.
Shut up. You, Jessica Bland, you aren't a professional marketing expert. You are a professional flim-flammer.
Whoa.
You are a flim-flammer. You have dubious counts of treachery. And mark my words, you will rue the day you have crossed me, you have crossed Norm, and you have crossed this dim-witted imbecile over here.
Do you know what? I'm not going to call you Jesse or Jessica. I'm going to call you Benedict Arnold because you've stabbed us in the back.
So I hope you remember this day, Jessica, because vengeance will come. It might not come tomorrow, it might not come next week, but it will come when you least expect it. Well, anyway, coming up next, we've got Cypress Hill. You're listening to the Babyface Broadcast here on 2RRR 88.5. And a bit of a bombshell. We've this contract Norm Prendergast, the Ride Ripper, who has graciously taken over and has kind of basically paying for our wrestling show. He's now around like $34,000 in the hole before a wrestler has even been booked. He has signed a contract, not really reading it, because, Jessica Bland, she's so good, she's so great. Jessie, she's going to do a great job. And taking you both for a bath, and not the sort of baths Norm's used to with a sponge. No. It's a bath where he's lost all his money.
Look, I am still reeling from the news.
Yes.
I think Jessica has done the dirty on us.
She certainly has.
And
Cold. Wasn't she very cold towards you?
she was cold to both of us.
She's always been cold to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, look, I got to admit.
And look,
Yeah.
I will say this. She was the one that put all these ideas in your head and Norm's head of how I'm no good, how I'm dodgy, the character assassination of me with her market research going around talking to everyone that hates my guts. Now, what do you think that was for? To get me out of the picture so all this could happen.
Do you know what, Mark? I'm starting to think that maybe you're right. That she planted seeds.
Seeds of discontent.
And they germinated.
Germinated into treachery, Dan Lennard.
Oak trees of treachery.
Oak trees of treachery. So we've got a date now, the 29th of August.
Yes.
To put on Australia's greatest wrestling show.
And we got a big debt.
It's going to be advertised at least.
We're advertising this show.
It's advertised. We have Crackerjack booked.
No, yeah.
Now, he was charging you 3 times the amount.
Yeah.
So let me deal with that.
Please do. He's gone crazy as well.
He's gone crazy. Oh, he is crazy.
Look, I'm worried with all this money. Like, how is Norm going to be able to afford some top-line wrestlers like I wanted to bring in? I mean, I know you're Booker again, but I was going to bring in some of the best talent Australia has to offer.
Dan Lennard, I don't think Norm has that much money, to be honest.
What?
I don't think he has that much money. I don't think he has. He's got some money, but I don't think he's just going to blow it all on a wrestling show, flying people from Perth and Adelaide to all come to the Lower Henley Diggers Club. You know, there's Lower Henley Diggers Club. I looked into that too.
Yeah.
It's not an RSL club. It's for construction workers.
Construction workers.
For diggers.
Oh, for literal diggers.
Literal diggers. Dodgy.
It is dodgy. I mean, the capacity too. I'm thinking to get that money, we're going to have to like
400 capacity.
400,000.
No, 400 people fits in the room.
Oh, we're going to have to charge a lot of money for tickets.
So yeah, we need to.
We're going to have to do some packages
We
like
need to
TNT does, where you sign he'll do a cameo and sign a photo, and you pay like a couple $100 or something.
We also need to find out what wrestlers. We've got some wrestlers from Beragong, which you've insulted. So
they're back in. I'm not happy about it, but I'm too scared to argue about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with them. So,
No.
but we did have a deal. So we've got some Beragong wrestlers.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
got Gravedigger Terry Calloway.
Maybe he does cameo.
Maybe, but like no one out of Beragong knows who they are. They're
No.
very big in Beragong, but they're...
So advertising them, we're going to have to really build them up.
So I'm going to have to call in some favours to maybe get some wrestlers in.
Oh, okay.
We've got Randall and yourself, and I've heard you've been filming nonsense videos. Maybe that's going to draw some people. Maybe some people want to see you get your head kicked in.
Listen, now that you're back on the air, all right, we're friends again, right? You and I.
Yeah.
Could we cancel that match?
Can't back out of it, mate.
Can you ask him to not kill me?
I can ask him to take it easy on you, but I can't guarantee it's...
That's all. And just
There's a levels of easy.
Yeah.
What might be easy is probably still going to be painful. But it might be quick.
Yeah, can it at least be quick?
It might be quick. I don't know why you wanted to wrestle for, Dan.
I
You went wrestle crazy, and this one happens to people when they get involved in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
When they've enjoyed it for so long, they've watched from over the other side, and they get a hankering to be part of it, and they go crazy. And that's why I could forgive you as well, Dan.
Well, Norm
because that's kind of my fault.
Norm pumped me up.
He did pump you up.
And Jessica pumped me up.
Yeah, you listened to a 92-year-old man,
Former wrestler, superstar.
who's training you, who hasn't been in a ring for 30 years.
Actually, he stopped training me too.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty busy. I think you upset him last week.
Well,
to
I
be
did,
honest.
but also he's out on dates all the time.
He certainly is, and the flim flammer,
Yeah.
Jessica Bland. So Dan, you've got yourself in a bit of trouble. So I hope you're training really hard for it. But that's a match.
Yeah.
But we need to brainstorm. We need to think who we can book. So next week, I think I might have someone I can book that might be an attraction.
Oh, cool.
I'm not going to say who. I don't want to overpromise and
You like to do it on the air anyway and surprise
I don't want
me.
to under-deliver. But folks, we have ourselves a task. The 29th of August, all in Australian wrestling legends. Do you think we can do it, Dan Lennard?
Do you want an honest answer?
I want an honest answer from you.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I think
I'm hopeful.
you're hopeful.
Yes.
You're hopeful.
I'm hopeful.
I think we're going to beat it.
Okay.
We're going to beat it. Much like Michael Jackson, you're listening to the Babyface Broadcast here on 2RRR 88.5. It's been I've returned to the show to find $35,000 in debt.
That was unexpected.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
It's only uphill from here, mate.
Well, don't be like that.
No. It's up. You
Up?
can't go
Oh,
down.
oh,
It's
okay.
uphill. It's uphill.
I thought you meant
We're
like
going up.
it's an uphill battle.
It is an uphill battle, but only up from here now.
We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it. You pump me up. Talking about pumping up, you pump me up during the break. I feel a little bit more confident than I did before the break.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Our tickets are going to have to be expensive. So let's speak about an expensive wrestling event. WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Did you watch WrestleMania this weekend?
I did watch WrestleMania.
You did?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on WrestleMania?
Worst WrestleMania ever.
The worst WrestleMania ever.
Oh my God. There were so many useless celebrities, Mark,
there was
on that show.
There was too many celebrities.
Too many celebrities. The matches weren't very good. They're
No.
too short.
Very short matches, especially
short
night one.
Yeah.
Very short matches.
Night one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hulk Hogan all over the show.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Constantly just
too
showing
much.
videos of him, and it's
Well, and then he beats King Kong Bundy in a cage, and it was just not very good. And
what
Yeah, Hulk Hogan beat King Kong Bundy. Main event of WrestleMania 2, 1980.
You're watching WrestleMania 2?
Yeah, 40th anniversary last weekend, 1986.
Yeah, because it's WrestleMania 42. It was on the weekend.
Was that on last weekend?
Yes, you hyped it up for Norm last week.
Oh, man, I've been so flustered with everything that's been going on with Keith hassling me and Jessica ghosting me. Well, WrestleMania 42 was last weekend.
Yes.
Oh, was it a good show?
Night 1 was pretty bad.
Oh.
By pretty bad, it was like meh. Like, it wasn't overly, like, anything horrible, but very short matches, too many celebrities, lots of ads.
Okay.
So many ads. Lots of ads for the Hulk Hogan documentary. Hulk Hogan all over it. Hulk Hogan had more time than the female wrestlers did.
Oh, dear.
Yes, so the women, not much time. There was a comparison of Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair those years ago. Had more time than the combination of all the women's matches on night 1.
Oh, that's grim.
So, yeah, very short matches. It just didn't feel like WrestleMania, and a main event that was a bit of a course correction that just... I've got no idea the story they were trying to tell.
Can you interpret it, Mark, the storyline?
Pat McAfee came out, got taken out by Jelly Roll at the start. So then Cody and Randy...
Two fine athletes.
Cody and Randy went at it. They were hyping up. Randy's got an injured back, everyone. So Cody was kind of working heel, attacking his back, showing a bit of animosity.
Were the crowd confused?
Crowd were confused. I mean, crowd were still kind of
I haven't
cheering
watched
for
it,
Randy.
but I haven't watched it, but I feel like I can pick things up here.
Crowd were kind of confused.
Kept cheering Randy, even though he's a dastardly heel.
Ref bump, but wrestling like a face.
So he leaned into it.
He was injured. Oh, my back. Bit of a ref bump. Here comes Pat McAfee with a neck brace and a referee shirt on.
Okay.
Comes out. Randy hits Cody with something. Does a slow 2 count.
So
for Randy.
Pat McAfee turned babyface?
No. I think he was just doing a normal count, but boy, oh boy, it was slow.
Yeah.
Randy then laughed it off and RKO'd Pat McAfee.
So Randy turned face?
Yeah. Then Cody kicked Randy in the balls. Then
so
referee
Cody turned heel?
Then referee Charles Robinson came back up. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins.
So Cody's a heel now?
Cody goes, celebrates. Randy chucks a wobbly, beats the crap out of Cody, and then punts him in the face, actually closing his eye with it. I don't know what's going on. It's all very weird. It's all very messy. Not very well planned.
Like Cody's face, I imagine.
I don't know the story they were trying to tell.
Yeah.
It was just
a mess.
A mess. Night 2, better. You had a classic match from the main event. Classic. Went for over 30 minutes. It was the longest match on both events.
Okay, I put loads of money on CM Punk winning. Did he win?
No, he did not.
Oh.
New champ, Roman Reigns, is the world heavyweight champ.
I didn't have much money I could afford to put on. I lost it all.
Roman Reigns, probably one of his best matches
really?
He's had. Yeah. And I do say the WrestleMania 40 main event will always be my favorite, but there's a lot of moving parts in that. If you're looking at a straight wrestling match with just 2 of the best going at it, this was a fantastic match.
So they salvaged the weekend, as it were.
They salvaged it was worthwhile. It was worthwhile watching that match. CM Punk, a man who's like 47, still having cracker matches, and that is how you lose a title.
Yeah.
He went out swinging, nothing to be taken away from him. Absolutely great. You had an all right ladder match. Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill.
And her
Jade
minions?
Cargill's, Sky come made a save.
Yeah.
Probably Jade Cargill's best match she's had. Still wasn't the best of Rhea Ripley's matches, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Once again, though, lots of ads. Just lots of ads. And just, I feel like with TKO kind of really pushing this, it has lost its soul.
What would the real main event of the weekend? Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. What happened?
Well, very quick match. Oba basically squashed Brock.
What?
And then Brock retired.
Get out of town.
He took his boots off in the ring. He was crying. Brock Lesnar was crying as he took his gloves off, took his boots off, crying in the middle of the ring, signaling, "Nah, I'm done." Heyman's going, "What's going on?" He made the X symbol at Heyman to show, "No, this is real." Then you see Heyman start kind of blubbering.
Yeah.
And left. Everyone said, "Thank you, Brock." And he left. And that's That's,
So you
they're
think
saying he's retired.
So you think it was a bit of a surprise to the people backstage?
Yeah, I think Brock just called on the things like, I don't think I can top this. I think this is the guy. And yeah, Obafemi, massively over. He's over Femi.
Over Femi.
Over Femi.
Okay.
So yeah, they were the kind of highlights.
Oh, did our friend Danhausen make an appearance?
Danhausen made an appearance. Sure did.
Yes.
Basically came out with a bunch of little Danhausens.
Little Manhausens.
That actually, Michael Cole called them midgets.
Oh.
On commentary and said, I'm allowed to call them midgets. That's what they want to be called.
I don't think it works that way.
I talked to them beforehand, and that's what they wanted to be called.
Don't think it works that way.
And he kept calling them midgets.
No, you can't. Just because they say that. Okay, anyway. So they came out. Was this involving anyone else?
It was Miz, and Miz interrupted John Cena to say, now he's now the leader. You've walked away. I need to lead the thing. Brings out Kit Wilson, I should say. And Danhausen comes out. They do a big kind of curse sort of thing. You know, Danhausen segment, entertaining. And yeah.
Okay.
The little people attacked Kit Wilson and Miz. So they got beaten up by the little people.
Oh, okay. So that was hilarious, right?
It was very good.
Okay, good.
Very funny.
So overall, night 2, okay?
Night 2, okay. Still didn't feel like WrestleMania. And the Raw afterwards, very tame. Very, very tame show. As I said, it's lost its spirit. It doesn't feel like the glory days. And I think if you're a fan of old-fashioned pro wrestling, I think you need to find something else to watch. I think it's yeah.
All right. Well, that's a shame. Well, look, I recommend. Actually, I don't recommend WrestleMania 2 to anyone. WrestleMania 2 is a terrible, terrible show. Probably worse than WrestleMania 42 from the sound of it.
It sure is. Well, Dan, that wraps us up for another night here in the Babyface Broadcast. It's good to be back in the studio.
It is good to have you back. I will concede it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back in the studio.
Yes. Hopefully you can save things for us.
Great to be behind the mic. Let's see what we can do. We are planning Australia's greatest wrestling show. 29th of August is the deadline. We are 35 grand in the hole. Can we make it happen, Dann Lennard? We are going to give it a crack. Listen to us every week as we try to make Australia's greatest wrestling show happen. So on behalf of Dann Lennard and myself, I thank you very much for listening, and we will catch you next time.